Hello, Divine Feminine family. How are you guys doing? Let's get into the message here. Well, either a change is done or what you hoped was changed hasn't happened. So, interesting cards here. Let's get a message. Nothing's coming through yet. They are saying you will see a sign of movement. Oh, gosh. Shortly. Maybe not the movement we wanted. Things will change. Things are about to change fairly quickly. They're saying you're ready for this. Queen of Swords, the Sun, and Justice in reverse. I don't know. I think you thought something would be a lot more fair, a lot more balanced by this point. And, those are interesting cards. Nothing's really changed, but things are about to change. I'm going to shuffle that again. I'm going to get animal signifiers so we can see what we're dealing with. Can you give me some masculine and feminine signifiers and the energy between them? Tell me what's the message that wants to come through to both people here. Okay, so you got the Dove Spirit, be peace. Yes, I feel like this is you wanting that balance, that fairness, that equilibrium to be present. He has Otter Spirit, which is what you got yesterday, and crazy enough, it's 2142. So, between you, Trust in the Magic, 66. Fascinating cards, okay. Bring a Gentle Touch, which is 18, which is the Death card. That card played a big role yesterday, and I think it's been playing quite a role since we had the last eclipse in Scorpio. I don't know, I feel like you're second-guessing something here. And even though it was the Seven of Pentacles, which we've been seeing a lot of, I feel like that's not what you're second-guessing. All right, well, King of Swords, 8 of Wands, 10 of Wands, 10 of Pentacles, 4 of Swords. Getting a lot of messages. I saw those two in the shuffle and that one. So we have 10-10 here. King of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, 2 of Cups. 9 of Swords reversed was on the bottom. I was on the outcome yesterday too. Hierophant, Chariot, 10 of Swords. So we have 10, 10, 10. Strength, Page, 2. I do not know what is going on here. Okay. So, Pentacles and Wands and Cups and a King of Swords. This King of Swords seems to want to be coming back around, and I feel like he wants you to he's going to play this little game here with you. Oh my God. We have 10, 10, 10, and the 10 on the bottom. Oh. Oh, yeah. He might be bringing a little bit of chaos here. Somebody's definitely either triggered or going to trigger. And we have 10, 10, 10 and the world. So we are done with the cycle. And another 10. Wow. Okay, so I see what they mean now. The 8 of Wands being in reverse is giving me this energy of like, he's relied on you to be the one to say all the things. That's an interesting combination of cards. And basically like read his mind so he doesn't have to do any of the emotional work. I feel like you're kind of over that. Like, you're like, hey, talk. What happened here? I feel like you're demanding that this mask be removed. Because you're like, I'm not, this is the feeling I'm getting off of you, is I'm chilling, I'm vibing, I'm happy. You're not gonna come in here and disturb all my peace and still not be able to talk about what's going on. Look at peace. I definitely feel like he's watching you, waiting, watching and waiting. Look at, there's 2 doves here. Spirit really wants you to protect your peace. Like, it's not like you need to put barbed wire up around it, they're saying. But don't give it away for free. That's one of the weirdest analogies I've ever heard. It's like, don't forget what it took to create the happiness that you have around you right now. And don't forget the lessons you learned about needing someone else to provide your happiness for you. Right, okay. Well, let's see what we got here. Silence is easier. Perpetual transmutation. You changed me. Pluto energy. He's being sus. He is being sus. Do you ever wonder if this is real? Sometimes I doubt it. Incoming contact. I know I treated you badly. I'm too proud to say sorry. So that's part of this. I write texts and delete them. Did I wait too long? Sphinx. Yeah, he's acting like this Sphinx. Capricorn, the rat, hologram, all those from yesterday. So he's thinking that he's this like impenetrable force of nature. And one thing he likes about you is that you can basically say all of his emotions out loud so he doesn't have to say them, or something like that. Like, he doesn't like being vulnerable. He doesn't like opening up and talking about things. He likes to just, with you, it feels really, look at talking in reverse. With you, it feels really easy in a lot of ways. We have a lot of communication cards here. I think you really, really want this. When I got the perpetual transmutation over the Two of Cups and the Nine of Swords, there's a part of you that really feels like it's not flowing the way I want it to. It's like, so I do know from like studying that you're really not supposed to work out your feelings and stuff with your twin flame. Like, those are meant for you to work out by yourself. But there's some form of like withholding here. It feels kind of like an emotional withholding to me. Longing for home. This is two cards of longing for home. Belonging. The original light workers. Yeah, it's a feeling of belonging. And I guess that's what they're talking about when they're saying, like, don't forget what it took to create this peace around you. Don't forget, like, don't start making someone else's validation matter more than yours. Get grounded. Empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature. I'm Rama. Where are you being called to journey to? Align your life. What is no longer aligning with who you truly are? Oh, that's my favorite card in this deck. Such a Two of Cups card. Soul family. Call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. And I feel like that's what it is. The Age of Light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. And then again, we have Warrior Woman on the bottom. It's like, yeah. Part of you feels alone a lot of the time, even when there's people around you. And part of you is sick of that feeling, I think. This is a really interesting card to come out, because it is indicating that you're a bit out of alignment, but also in a way that's like, there's some parts of you that maybe need to be brought back more to your authenticity. Like, to me, it does speak to people pleasing a bit, and like, I understand. You have families, you have jobs, you have social circles, you have all sorts of things that require you to be parts of yourself. And this is really calling for you to be more integrated as a whole, which is very challenging. Why do I deserve someone like you? Why do I feel this way? People don't believe in me. I can't talk to you right now. I don't understand. You were right. I can't express myself. I can't let go of you. I don't know who I am anymore. I need to hold back my true feelings for you. So there is this mirroring of holding back, like who you really are, how you really feel, expressing your truth. They're kind of telling me, I did a reading not too long ago that was about how you have to have boundaries on your journey to unconditional love. And as you kind of go up the emotional scale, you drop boundaries, right? And when you get to unconditional love, then you just are pure love, and you don't have the fear, right, that requires boundaries. So in no way am I saying boundaries are a bad thing. Especially while you're healing, they're a very necessary part of the journey, in my opinion. Now, only you will know what you need boundaries around, and why, and how much, but it does feel like here, if you're going to a new level, if that's where you are, and it looks like you are, because we have 5 10s out here, be aware that at each new level, the boundary that you made at the previous level will hold you back from the expansion that you need. So you have to kind of recalibrate your boundaries and reintegrate what you need boundaries around. And I feel like this is part of that process of figuring out right now, how much can you express, how authentic can you be, and letting go of what doesn't align with your life anymore right now. And those of you with Pluto in prominent parts of your chart, this will be a very normal thing to you. We are like in a Pluto dominated person, you're constantly doing this. With the Pluto shift, I think now it's a really collective energy, because Aquarius is such a collective sign anyway. We kind of have to deal with it more. We have to deal with what they're bringing up is that we have really bad collective trust issues that are kind of like a bedrock of our society. They're showing me like bedrock, that we just inherently believe in our society that, okay, so they're talking about a small portion of society that's like really exploited to play on our fears, and that it's like things like the news, right, are tiny fractional events that are broadcast to everyone as like a warning of like, see what can happen, see why you shouldn't trust people, see why people are bad. These are bad examples of things that can happen. Kind of societally displayed as a warning to other people, like to be savvy, to be safe, to keep yourself from this happening in a way. Not everything, but some of it, right? Accidents too. And so they're kind of saying this has been our modus operandi for a very long time, that we fear strangers, we fear people, we fear interacting, we fear new experiences. We fear, in a lot of ways, this word weird is a fear. And it's used to like control us in a way where we don't want people thinking we're weird. Now, a lot of spiritual people now are fine with that word, but some people aren't. And some people, like I know with me, it's been a trigger because it was used so heavily by my parents that I didn't like it. And now, like, I've been in the process of making peace with it. But some people don't have that trigger. So anyway, what they're saying is, we have a lot of protection around ourselves from that. And like the masculines have even more, because they haven't been in this process of dismantling it as much as we have. And a lot of people feel a lot more in control when they're the ones doing the heartbreaking, doing the leaving, doing the ghosting, doing the breaking up with, pushing away. It feels a lot better. It's much more beneficial to your ego and your self-worth that way, right? Like, it feels a lot better to leave for some people than to be left. That's only for some, and if you know that is for you, you'll know that. And that, okay, so they're giving me a weird thing here. It's sometimes when, okay, so for those of you that feel like you're never really at home or you don't really belong anywhere, because the masculines can feel that way, but they don't like to feel that way. So they do a lot of masking, right? And that masking is very comfortable for them. And like when you are manifesting from a place of masking, you're not manifesting something real. Even though you say you want something real, you're not really in touch with it, right? Friendliness, healing. So we had another healing card, the Master, success, rebirth, compromise, isolation, letting go, adventure, morality, flowering, totality, celebration, silence. So I feel like there's a recognition here about wanting to come home to the feeling of home. And they're saying you can't really manifest that. It's more like an aligning in so many ways. It's like you can try to create this feeling of home and feeling of belonging all you want. And you're doing it from a place of wanting and lack, right? And you're finding the place, you're finding the furniture, you're doing all the stuff, you're trying to fill it with the right people and have the right events or whatever it is and cook the right foods, and it still doesn't feel good because you don't feel good inside. And then there's times when you don't try to do anything except work on how you feel. And when you do that enough, when you work on how you feel enough, all of a sudden, it's like magic will happen. Magic will happen and you will feel so at home in a way you can't even really explain. And this is what happened when your energy fields came together, right? Your energy fields came together and something felt completely different. And for many twin flames, there's chaos all around them when their energy fields come together. It's such a strong energy. It recalibrates everything around you. But people are also very, very like concerned most of the time. Like there's a lot to be concerned about. It's interesting with these two trees with the leaves growing together like that. It's like a lot of the time with twin flames, it's definitely a situation where there's a lot of circumstances around that you shouldn't be together, or it's just unusual in some ways, and people get very worried about it. No, earth sign, air sign, gold digger, pregnancy, guardian, someone else, pets, gambling. These weren't that helpful, I don't think. Move on, health. Interestingly enough, they're talking about grounding a lot. They're talking about feeling at home a lot. And they're talking about settledness. And then they're also talking about all this chaos and up in the air. And change. And it's kind of like there's a lot of circumstances around this change happening. Even to the point where someone may fake a pregnancy or try to get pregnant or use a lot of circumstances, like they're bringing up the news again. It's like gossip. They may gossip about your twin. They may gossip about you. They may say he has like a problem with money or gambling or really odd things around money. That may be a part of your experience. Even animals may come into this, but I see that there's two sides of this. There's somebody trying to meddle in what's going on. And then there's your ancestors and your guardians and your angels and spirit. And there's a force here that's very powerful about you two finding each other in a certain way. I think what's being brought to our attention here is that don't overthink it, but don't be blind to it, right? You cultivating your own sense of inner peace will go a really long way into settling down what needs to settle down. And the more you are kind of thrown into chaos and ungrounded and seeking validation from the outside, the harder that this process gets. See? No one makes me feel like you do. This is this feeling of home. Trust me. I miss kissing you. My fears keep stopping me. I pretend I don't care because I care too much. I want to be with you. I want to come back home to you where I belong. I see myself having kids with you. I miss you. I know I hurt you. I never intended to. I see signs of you everywhere I go. Still healing wounds. Yeah, there's always wounds. So I feel like there's fear, but he's overcoming it. It's going to be you that demands the truth be spoken, or the truth be acknowledged, or him be vulnerable. Like, that's not going to just happen on its own. And it may not happen at all. I see here that he's willing to talk and willing to take off his masks. There is a lot of indication for you to be quite still here, to be observant of any triggers that come up in your stability, in your root chakra, to cultivate peace. And if you feel like you need to run, or you need to move, or you need to go, because that can be a strong feeling when things kind of get chaotic. They're saying don't just give into that because you're fearful, right? There is some having to deal with the fact that your family life or your life may not look like you had thought it would look, or anticipated it to look. Or again, they're just bringing up you may feel alone in this healing that you're doing. The masculine seems to be looking to the past for some reason, and so are you, actually. Looking back, you're much farther, your perspective is much farther ahead, but looking back to why did all this go on? Why did things fall apart the way that they did? Why did we... Here's the thing. When you actually look at what happened, there's a lot of like undercurrent, like text underneath it all. Things that have never been said. And that's what he's looking at. He's like, a lot of them are going like, why does this feel so serious to me and so intense? But maybe a lot of you didn't say a lot of things that were so serious and intense. So why do they feel so serious and so intense still? Or use the word that fits with you. Because like the one thing with Twin Flames is that it's just weird. Like everything feels very weird. Very unusual and strange. Like way different than other relationships. Okay, so let's get advice here. I'm trying not to make this so long today, but I failed. You know, the messages have been so interesting lately. So much information coming through, it feels like. Oh, a new one. Arakura, blossoming. You are just getting started, so have patience with yourself and the process, and do not give up. Mother Mary, so new cards today. Expect a miracle. Have faith that your prayers have been heard and are being answered. White Tara, sensitivity. You're becoming incredibly sensitive. Avoid harsh relationships. Interesting. This is the new card. Environments, situations, and chemicals. Wow, that's a fascinating card. Okay, this is such a beautiful, wow, such a beautiful card. Bottom of the deck is Isolt. Undying love. The love you have shared is eternal regardless of the situation. And they were showing me a card. It had an 8 on it. And they were talking about how many times you guys have done this before. And although I didn't say any of that, it didn't seem completely relevant to what was going on. I see that that's another message of that. Is that that's part of that feeling familiar, feeling like home, looking back and seeing like, how can this relationship that has like so much less than a lot of other relationships I've been in have more like feeling in it, and that's why. All right, beautiful cards today. Source Dragon attunes you to the infinite. Be still in the silence. Magic can happen. A lot of cards of stillness in this reading. Be in the moment. Earth and Fire Dragon works with you to clear the fifth dimensional ley lines. It is time for service. When you give, you receive. Golden Solar Dragon helps you stand in your masculine power with wisdom. Let your DNA be reprogrammed and light codes activated. Become a inspired leader. Okay, I'm not going to read Magenta Dragon because I feel like she's been out a lot, but it says enables you to bring forward your soul's wisdom. So Master Jesus fell out. I'll keep it. We have Radha, Soul Flame, Mezzalcheck, Higher Learning, the Miriam, the Twins, and on the bottom of the deck, Isis, Magic, Manifesting. Super strong energies today. Source Dragon and Isis are really powerful cards. Radha, Soul Flame. Rediscover a lost part of yourself. Experience relationship, harmony, and healing. Master Jesus, forgiveness. You are on the path of light, love, and forgiveness. Father, healing is possible at this time. Mezzalcheck, Higher Learning. You have learned from experience. More inner study is now required to further progress. So that's what we were talking about in the reading. Choose the Miriam, Sacred Vision. Choose to forgive in order to heal. See the light in all, and remember that love has no boundaries. Then we have Mother Earth, which is that, not the kind of sister to that one. And we'll take 4. Bottom of the deck, Herkimer Diamond, Dreams. So you have a lot of power to manifest dreams right now. So we have Diopside, Mother Earth, so grounding that energy, right? We have Queen of Pentacles, talk about grounding, relaxation, Calcite, Crystal Tile, animals, and I did talk about animals assisting you possibly, and Sunstone, empowerment. Messages from your higher self. Embrace, through each other you find the missing pieces. When it comes to matters of the heart, there's no right or wrong. Every choice you make expands your understanding of life and love. Emotions are, well, a natural and necessary part of your life, but they can also destroy your perception and cloud your vision. In order to see things clearly, you must let go of resentment and then look inside yourself. Examine what is causing you to feel this way. And we have on the bottom, criticizing one another will only lead to further unhappiness. Love and accept each other as you are, and your relationship will magically transform. So I hope this has helped you. My readings are open, and I thank you so much for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting. It really helps me. And I hope you have a beautiful and magical day. Bye for now.